Hey guys,
peace plan. It's getting qualified support from Zelensky, who says the fact that China is starting to talk about Ukraine is not bad. It's also been announced the first batch of Leopard tanks has been delivered to Ukraine from Poland.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Ukraine has said it won't agree to any peace without all of its territory being returned. Russia still disputes what belongs to Ukraine. A new round of U.S. sanctions targets those helping Russia to evade previous sanctions, including Chinese entities.
These are all entities that were chosen specifically to put more pressure on Mr. Putin and his ability to prosecute the war in Ukraine.
National Security Council spokesman John Kirby. More Russian banks, companies, and individuals are also targets. This is rare in Southern California. Blizzard conditions, a storm dumping heavy snow for more than 24 hours in the mountains around Los Angeles. Fox Weather's Nicole Valdez in L.A. County.
Several major interstates, including I-80 and I-5 through the Grapevine, closed, some indefinitely, as snow begins to mount along those higher elevation areas like the Tejon Pass. California Highway Patrol, Caltrans, they all say everyone should avoid travel in these mountains as these conditions are only expected to intensify.
The windy conditions also knocking out power to tens of thousands, adding to more than 1 million outages as winter weather pounds the northern half of the U.S., also disrupting flights across the country. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
An accident blocks your right shoulder on I-94 eastbound at New Haven Road. On I-94 westbound, construction slows you down just before Connor Street. Now WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. A warmer temperature profile than expected today. A mix of sun and clouds with a high of 31 this afternoon. We'll get some snow showers after midnight tonight. Going to have a low of 23. Right now, partly sunny and 30 degrees. I'm Rich Luzinski, WJR traffic and weather first.
After a storm, Consumers Energy works around the clock to keep you safe and restore your power. But if you see a downed wire, stay 25 feet away. Then call 911 and Consumers Energy. Remember, even if the wire appears harmless, it could be dangerous. It could still be deadly. So stay away and stay alive. Consumers Energy. Count on us.
Making your bathroom as safe as possible is key to maintaining your independence and staying in your home for as long as possible. Hi, it's Paul W. A big part of making your bathroom safer is eliminating that step over the side of the tub to take a shower. That's where my friend Victor, the owner of Victor's Home Solutions, comes in. They will convert your old bathtub that you probably never use into a beautiful walk-in shower that is not only stylish, but a much safer way to bathe. It features a low step-up entry, slip-resistant floors, and options such as grab bars, shelving, seats. The list goes on. I've used Victor's to work on my home, and I can unconditionally recommend his quality of work and customer service. Stop stepping over that tub. Step into a new shower. Call Victor's Home Solutions today for a free in-home design appointment and estimate. Call them at 734-6666-914. That's 734-6666-914. Or book an appointment online at victors.com.
I never write reviews, but Navage is so amazing, I had to leave one. Nothing's ever cleared out my sinuses as well. I'm blown away by how Navage works. That's a review from Carrie, and it's one of over 100,000 online testimonials praising Navage. I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I've talked about flushing out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs. How Navage's powered suction can help you breathe better, and how your nose is the body's air filter, and Navage will clean it out. But don't take my word for it. What do people like Chad say, who wrote, Navage has helped clear out my nasal passages every single night. My wife says my snoring has gone way down. Snorefest be gone, unquote. Navage is the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million customers to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
This is the 36th Annual Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on 760 WJR. With 3 ways to donate now. Visit sametrodetroit.org, text BREAD to 24365, or call 833-SAL-HOPE, and keep the Bed and Bread trucks rolling. Now with more, here's Mitch Albom.
And we welcome you to our participation in the Salvation Army's Bed and Bread Club Radiothon, which has been going on for so many years. Kevin O'Neill had dark hair when he started.
A long time ago, yes.
And was in on the early days of it. If not, as it started with Dick Purton, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's right, Mitch. We did it right in the Q95 studio. So it's grown a lot since then and still going strong.
Well, of course, it helps the neediest citizens here in the city of Detroit, and we are proud to do that. We believe in that. It's a tenet of our show and of our principles, and for all the joking around that we are come to know for on the radio. We're very serious when it comes to taking care of people who are hungry, who are homeless, who don't have a place to go. And I find it's always easier to draw support in the wintertime because we can imagine if we just roll down our own windows, especially in the light of the last couple of days in the ice storm, when people, even in their own homes, protected in their nice brick multi-story homes, found themselves with no power and in the cold. Imagine if you never had that home to begin with, and that was what your daily life was like all the time. Well,
and the people still out now, you think you'll be getting your power back Sunday. Just think if you're not getting your power back.
Or you never had it to begin with.
That's
just
right.
Crazy.
Good point, Kenny.
That's right. So the gang is gathered here, and we're going to encourage you to give throughout the course of the next couple of hours and try to provide some entertainment for you along the way and some information, too. Jamie Winkler is here with us, the director of the Salvation Army Great Lakes Harbor Light System. Hi, Jamie.
Hey, how you doing, Mitch?
I'm doing fine. I'm actually in Haiti. Everybody should know. It may sound like I'm sitting next to Jamie, and effectively I am, minus about 1,700 miles between the two of us. But that's the magic of radio. Jamie, tell us about, first of all, we've got a matching donation going on right now, and those are always good.
Yes, we got a $125,000 matching donation from Ford Motor Company Fund. And this is everyone's great opportunity to double your gift. And we want to encourage you to text BREAD, BREAD, to 24365, and that's because the Salvation Army is there helping people 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
Tell us about some of the drivers' experiences that have shared with you. I always find those to be really inspiring stories.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mitch, it's really bitterly cold out today. In fact, I was with one of our drivers this morning, and before we even made it to our first stop, we saw a couple that had waved us down. And this couple, I was looking at their hands. Their hands were just so bright red and frail. And it was very evident of how cold they were. And I was asking them, how are they staying warm? And they were telling me their struggle. And, this morning they were out in the sun trying to get some heat from the sun, but it's so windy. It just was really, really difficult for them. But they're from Colorado, and they came to Detroit for a job opportunity that did not come to fruition. And they're homeless. And they're currently staying in an abandoned building and using a kerosene heater to try to stay warm. But there's not enough shelter beds. They cannot find shelter. In fact, Mitch, it's estimated that there's about 11,000 homeless individuals in the city of Detroit, and only about 1,900 shelter beds. And so for this couple, they just didn't know what to do, and so bundled up. And so, here we were able to give them a lot of food, a lot of hot food for them. And we gave them extra blankets and hats and gloves. But the struggle is there. And I could just see it in their eyes, the despair that they're facing, trying to stay warm.
Yeah. Well, I think you said it right there. And that's one couple story, and there's many, many more. So you can give to try to mitigate through the good work of the Salvation Army. The phone number is 833-SAL-HOPE, 833-SAL-HOPE, or if you'd like to just do numbers, 833-725-4673. And if you're into texting, text the word bread. I hope you know how to spell that, but I'll do it for you. B-R-E-A-D, as opposed to B-R-E-D, to 24365. That's the number, 24365. So coming up in just a couple of minutes, we're going to talk to actor Terry Crews.
Really?
Who is, he's I don't know if you knew that he's a Michigan guy.
With the Western Michigan.
That's right.
Yeah. America's Got Talent. Everybody Hates Chris. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, all the rest of those. And we'll be encouraging you to continue to give this way. It's very important. Very, very, very important. Today is also the anniversary of the 1-year anniversary of the Ukraine war. Which means nothing other than a calendar date, and that we've been in a war for 364 days longer than anybody hoped that the thing would go on. And it's many ways, it's kind of remarkable that it's still going on, given, if you remember, the early predictions that Ukraine was going to fall in a matter of weeks and Kiev was going to fall in a matter of days.
Yes.
And here we are. I saw an American general come out and say Russia's lost the war. It's already, wars are lost or won long before they're over. It's a little bit like a football game. When you go up 20-10, you still have 2 minutes left in the game, but the game's over. And I don't believe that personally. I think there's still a lot of mileage in this, and there's a lot of unknowns depending on what China does and how deeply they get involved and all that.
Escalate depending on, even people speaking. It could be words that could escalate or de-escalate this whole thing to a worldwide conflict.
Or shooting down balloons.
Yeah, it could be shooting down something accidentally. Remember, the First World War started when a guy got assassinated. I mean, stuff just happens, and you never know where a war goes once it starts.
I was reading this morning, Mitchell, that this Russian citizen was saying, look, if we lose this war, Russia will be in a complete and unadulterated shambles. There's a
that was a former president of Russia. Who, of course, his take is we can't lose this war. Ukraine's take is it's not losing. Just go back to where you were, and everybody will be fine.
That's right.
Yeah, just get out.
Right.
So it was a trumped up charge on Russia's part to call it a war to begin with. It wasn't. It was a one-way war. It was an invasion.
That's right.
It's how an invasion turns into a war. It's like, you go up to somebody, you punch him in the face 6 times, and then he throws a punch back, and he goes, hey, we're in a fight. It's like, well, no, you came over and clobbered somebody, and that person basically tried to defend themselves. It's not the same on both sides. And, of course, we're trying to talk logic here, and what's logic got to do with anything when it comes to Putin? Yeah. Okay, but so we're marking that, and that's important. But if you feel a little frustrated by that and there's nothing that you can do about that, then do something that we can do something about in our own backyard. We've got a $125,000 matching donation, and let's take care of our own citizens here, because in the end, the citizens in Ukraine are cold and they're starving, and the world is rushing to their help because of it, rightly so. But we've got citizens right here in Detroit who are cold and who are starving as well. And are we rushing to help them? Well, we ought to be. So the phone numbers again, 833-SAL-HOPE, SAL-HOP, or text the word bread to 24365. Coming back with much more here on 760 WJR.
Chef Michael Block, a classically trained chef who's worked in some of the area's fanciest kitchens, now oversees the feeding of the city's neediest and hungriest people.
93,000 loaves of bread a year, 300 gallons of hot chocolate in the winter months a week, 128,000 hot dogs a year.
Each meal off the bed and bread truck usually contains 2 sandwiches, fresh fruit, yogurt, soup, snack, and a hot drink.
So what we try to do is give enough calories for a day, for a whole day, because we realize that might be the only meal that person has for the whole day.
And the truck never takes a day off.
Thanksgiving and Christmas, we send out a full turkey meal on those 2 days. So I go through 1,800 pounds of turkey, 1,000 pounds of mashed potatoes, 1,000 pounds of stuffing, 800 pounds of vegetables. And it's all done from scratch. And it's all done by volunteers.
Chef Michael says he doesn't look back on his fancy days fixing top dollar dishes for discriminating palates. Now he says he feeds bodies and souls.
We're trying our hardest to do the most good for the most people and with whatever donations we get.
Marie Osborne, WJR News.
This is Matt Paul, Executive Vice President, DTE, with an important safety message. Wednesday's major ice storm took down several thousand power lines. We're urging everyone, especially kids and pets, to please stay out of their yards. Be on the lookout for fallen wires. Stay 25 feet away from them and anything they may be touching, as those could also be electrified. And report down power lines by calling 1-800-477-4747. Please stay safe.
If your power is out, a generator can make things easier. But DTE wants you to know how to keep your family safe. Never ever use a portable generator inside your home. It emits carbon monoxide, which can be deadly. Keep it outside, away from windows and doors, so the fumes won't come in. Read the manufacturer's safety instructions and follow them. Generators can make outages more bearable, but please use them safely. DTE.
If you're looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle, please think of the Golling Automotive Group. Hi friends, Bill Golling here, letting you know we have some great February President's Day pricing and incentives at all of our stores. That's Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bloomfield Hills, Chelsea, and Roseville, Golling Alfa Romeo Fiat in Birmingham, Golling Buick GMC in Lake Orion, Golling Toyota in Warren, and Golling Kia in Madison Heights. We also have great service departments and body shops to service all your needs as well. And always remember to buy local and support our community. See more online at golling.com.
Curtain up. The DSO throws a big, joyous, lit-up, buoyant celebration of the life and work of Stephen Sondheim. It's Sondheim and Beyond. It features his iconic works, but also those by other Broadway legends. Buy tickets now at DSO.org. March 10th through March 12th at Orchestra Hall. Sondheim and Beyond with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra.
Hi guys, it's Mark with Maple Ridge Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical advancement that has helped thousands of men. Our wave technology is backed by 60 clinical studies, including from Cambridge University. It's been shown to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us now. And not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, but will also include something unique that produces powerful results in the bedroom. You're going to love that one, guys. Trust me. This unprecedented offer is worth $600, but it's free to those who call in the next 2 minutes. Call 313-403-3333. That's 313-403-3333. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your life back. Call Maple Ridge Medical Clinic now to qualify. 313-403-3333.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com. Want to save 50% on new blinds? Blindster.com offers custom-made blinds, shades, and shutters with free shipping and prices less than big box retailers. And right now, save 50% off any order during Blindster's extended President's Day sale. Hurry, sale ends March 1st. Blindster.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Expect delays on I-275 northbound between I-94 and E-Course, and moving roadwork slows you down on I-94 eastbound between Harper Avenue and Metro Parkway. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. A mix of sun and clouds with a high of 31 this afternoon. We'll get some snow showers after midnight tonight with a low of 23. Right now, it's partly sunny and 31 degrees. I'm Rich Bluzinski, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Welcome to the Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on WJR. $120 feeds 5 people for an entire month. To donate what you can, call 833-SAL-HOPE or text BREAD to 24365 now. Once again, here's Mitch Albom.
Yes, please remember those numbers. Please call them. Please think about how cold you've been the last couple of days, and then imagine people who don't have a choice, don't have a home, don't have a generator, don't have the heat coming back when DTE gets around to fixing it, and don't have an option. And I'm sure your heart will open up to them. I want to welcome to the program a Michigan native, an author, an action movie hero, a sitcom star, a book illustrator, a pitchman, a video game character, former NFL player. It would take me the rest of the interview to basically say everything that Terry Crews does. So we'll just say hello to him. Hey, Terry, how you doing?
Hey, Mitch, man, listen, I'm a big fan, man. What you've done to the state of Michigan and everything, it's so awesome. So awesome to meet you.
Thank you. Well, it's my honor to meet you. Any guy who went to school as a flute player and wound up as a football player is okay with me. That's a story and a half right there.
Flautist to football. It's a long story.
But it's true, right? You were like, you spent years learning the flute and actually went to Western. I don't know if you went on a flute scholarship or an art scholarship. You were an artist and a musician when you arrived, and you were a football player when you left.
Man, first of all, I realized, just why do you have to pick one dream? You know what I mean? And that was always my thing is like, I knew that I was an artist. I knew that I loved music, and I also was an athlete, and I didn't give up any of it. And to this day, I just finished my workout, about to practice on the flute and draw a little bit later.
Wow. Okay, that's Terry Crews' day, folks. What are you doing with your life? Now, I'm fascinated by this flute thing because I've seen you in all the movies and the action hero stuff, and at first glance, you're a big, burly, sometimes scary guy, depending on the role you're playing. And I would just let me just say, in one of those movies, give that glare and then pull a flute out from your back pocket and launch into a Pierre Rampal piece.
Listen, that surprise has been my whole career. It's because it's always, people have always judged books by their cover, and I've always been where people go, "What in the world? He does what?" And I think that most of us are like this. I just have been one of the guys that's been willing to reveal it, but I find that to really, to build a career in Hollywood, coming out of Flint, Michigan, man, I know I'm a miracle. I know I am a total miracle, and I love what you guys are doing today with the Salvation Army. It's absolutely incredible, man. Because I remember doing security on movie sets when I first moved to LA, and I remember watching the homeless just try, whole families out there in Los Angeles trying to make it, and what the Salvation Army did for them was for real. Like I've seen a lot of people give lip service, but they were really helping people, to survive out here, and especially in Detroit, man. When you're talking about how cold it is, and I can only imagine the help that's needed. And listen, I made a donation literally just a minute ago because I just knew it was something that had.
Terry, thank you.
We appreciate that. Look, I've rarely met anybody who comes out of Flint who doesn't have an understanding of the turns that life can take and how you can find yourself in some of these situations through no fault of your own necessarily. One of the things that I dislike the most when I do charity work, which is most of my life these days, is running into people who don't want to give because they figure in some way these people had it coming to them, or if they just had made better life decisions, or if they just hadn't jerked around for some period of time, then they wouldn't be poor, they wouldn't be homeless, and then they wouldn't have that situation. You've been very candid about your own background, your family background, which had its rough elements to it, and how good people can end up in bad situations and in need. Speak to that just a little bit, if you have some experience with that out of your Flint years that you spent.
Oh yeah, listen. First of all, we had experience. I grew up in poverty, and the whole thing is it's so wild because when I moved to LA, I actually lost my house in the early 2000s. It was around 2002, and I got in a bad loan, couldn't afford it, and we were out. And by the grace of God, I found a place to stay and bring my family into. But I mean, listen, it's for the grace of God that I am not, that it could have all ended up in a different way. And it's like you said, it's like some people try to say, oh man, it's your decisions and the whole thing. But listen, we all know, and I know, that for one wrong move, one bad break, one unlucky thing, and it can all change overnight. And we have to be empathetic, and we have to understand that this is a position that we all could be in. We are lucky. There's a lot of luck involved, a lot of work, but let me tell you, there's a ton of luck involved in this thing. And we have to really help those who've just come on hard times, because it happens.
Fine line.
Well said.
Yeah, big time.
The phone numbers, again, to do that are 833-SAL-HOPE. Text the word bread to 24365. 24365. Do you keep up much with the NFL? Does it hold interest for you, for a guy who played on, like 4 or 5 teams, if I remember? All pretty good teams now.
What's funny is I follow players, because I always try to encourage the players that they have more after the game is over. As an athlete, you tend to put everything into that one box because it takes everything you have to get there. But the problem is that once you do, or even if you try to make it and it doesn't work out, you're kind of stuck. And I really, really am always talking to players about what the next moves are. I remember when Mike Strahan was done. He came to me, he was like, man, I'm thinking about going to Hollywood. I was like, come on, man, come out here, do it, do your thing. And now he's like the superstar, you know what I mean? But I really love the players. Like, listen, I care more about the players than the NFL does.
Well, that's not hard.
It ain't hard to do. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, dude, come on. It's like, when
There's a lot of people sitting at home that can make that statement too, I think.
Hey, first of all, the NFL got me ready for Hollywood.
For all the acting that they put on.
Less than the NFL.
Yeah. Well, now you got to tell me if this is true, because I find this one of the most interesting things. It could be something that's just on the web that's not. But is it accurate that when you were on a lot of teams and you got cut from a lot of teams, you moved about, is it accurate that in between teams, you would actually do portraits of players, painting them or drawing them or whatever, to make some money in between gigs?
Exactly. What I did, I would go back in the locker room. It was supremely humbling. I go back in there with my portfolio, and I was like, hey, man. They were like, hey, T, what's up? And I'm like, I got cut a couple weeks ago, but would love to do a painting of you and your family. And then I would show them my portfolio, and they were like, wow, he's pretty good. And I would get about 3 or 4 paintings, and it would help me to survive until I could get back into camp. And one thing I knew is humility gets you a lot of places. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just gotta eat your pride and eat whatever
in order to
go
eat.
Back in, make it happen. So
eat your pride in order to eat. Well, we're asking. I think that's an inspiring story to end on. I think if Terry Crews can drag himself back in after being cut from a team and say, look, okay, they don't want me for football. How about I paint your portrait, and that's what you needed to do. Then we can do the same thing to help others here who may not have that skill or may not have that connections. But if you give them a hand, they may just show that same spirit. The way you do it is by giving to 833-SAL-HOPE or text the word bread to 24365. Terry, what a pleasure to talk to you. Please don't be a stranger to our show. We'd love to talk to you again in the future.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for what you're doing. This is so amazing. Love you guys. Thank
you for your donation.
Great, Terry Crews. Thanks for the donation out of Flint. So Terry Crews made a donation. You can make a donation to 833-SAL-HOPE, 833-725-4673, or text the word bread to 24365.
Did you lose power from the storm? For your safety, Consumers Energy reminds you to never run a generator indoors, in garages, or even in carports. They can cause carbon monoxide poisoning, resulting in serious harm and even death. Only use generators outdoors and far from open windows, doors, and vents. And it's always a good idea to have a carbon monoxide detector on every floor of your home, because you can never be too safe. Consumers Energy, Count on us.
Before you make a final decision on any new car, truck, SUV, or minivan, come see what we can do for you during our President's Day sales event at Gowling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Hi friends, Bill Gowling here, and with more than 1,400 vehicles available, I'm sure that we have something that's just right for you. For example, qualified Chrysler employees can lease a 2022 Jeep Compass Limited 4x4 for just $269 a month. Leases for 39 months, 10,000 miles a year with $2,000 down. That's Gowling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bloomfield Hills, Chelsea, Roseville, and online at Gowling.com.
Follow us on Twitter at WJR Radio.
Fox News, I'm Kathleen Maloney. On this one-year anniversary of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, President Zelensky says through a translator he appreciates China's call for a ceasefire and peace talks.
I plan to meet with Xi Jinping, and I think that would be useful to our countries and to global security.
And today, the U.S. announced new sanctions against Russia. Stocks are falling as the latest Commerce Department report shows prices still rising.
The PCE index for January increased 0.6%, up 5.4% for the year ending last month.
Fox's Ginny Cosola says consumer spending rose 1.8% and incomes were up 0.6% in January. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com. Want to save 50% on new blinds? Blindster.com offers custom-made blinds, shades, and shutters with free shipping and prices less than big box retailers. And right now, save 50% off any order during Blindster's extended President's Day sale. Hurry, sale ends March 1st. Blindster.com.
Traffic lights aren't working on 8 Mile in both directions at Grand River. The median for eastbound and westbound 8 Mile will be closed. Traffic will be directed to use the Grand River turnarounds. Expect delay on I-275 northbound between I-94 and E-Course. And we've got moving road work slowing you down on I-94 eastbound between Harper Avenue and M59. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. A mix of sun and clouds, a high of 31 this afternoon. We'll get some snow showers after midnight tonight. Low of 23. Right now, partly sunny and 30 degrees. I'm Rich Buzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business needs, from quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options. Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Do you ever get the feeling that the world is being held together with duct tape? Every day we're thrown some new meaningless drama in the fake news to distract us from the reality we're all about to face. Between the government trying to print their way out of debt, military conflicts, the disintegration of our most trusted institutions, and a looming food shortage, preparedness is no longer a choice. It's a necessity. You can trust My Patriot Supply. Our emergency food kits come packed with tasty meals, averaging over 2,000 calories per day. Get at least one kit for each person in your family. Self-reliance is the only alternative to government food lines. Time is running out. Become ungovernable. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com and save on dozens of different emergency food kits while you can. These kits are in stock, ship fast, and arrive in unmarked boxes for your privacy. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com before the next crisis strikes. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Hear the real story of White Boy Rick, hosted by Detroit journalist Charlie LaDuff. Live at the Andiamo Celebrity Showroom in Warren, Saturday, March 18th. White Boy Rick. His life before, during, and after prison with a live Q&A. Tickets at AndiamoShowroom.com or at 586-268-3200. VIP meet and greets also available. The real story of White Boy Rick, a one-on-one with journalist Charlie LaDuff at the Andiamo Showroom, Saturday, March 18th.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 800-730-8405 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check. As easy as, that's 800-730-8405.
O'Reilly.
Protect your engine
conditioning and sludge and wear with a synthetic oil change. O'Reilly Auto Parts has 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for $35.95. Plus, get 2 times O Rewards points. Our professional parts people can recommend the supplies you need, including a filter, funnel, shop towels, drain pans, and more. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You've got the 2023 Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on WJR. It's the charity drive that shelters more than 72,000 Metro Detroiters every year. Call and donate right now. 833-SAL-HOPE or text BREAD to 24365. Now back to more with Mitch Albom.
All right, we're back here again, raising money on a $125,000 challenge. That's a matching donation from Ford Motor Company funds. So if we can raise $125,000, we get $125,000. In other words, it's like bringing bottles back to the store. You know, and they give you double rate for it.
That's right.
Kevin laughed at that. He remembered that.
I sure do.
Steve pretended he didn't remember, but he used to put them in his wagon and roll that wagon down to the local.
You said the word bottle, that takes everybody back. Anything's made of glass anymore.
833-SAL-HOPE, 833-SAL-HOPE, or text the word BREAD, BREAD, to 24365 to make a donation and try to match that $125,000 challenge. I really enjoyed talking to Terry Crews. He's
great.
He's a really good guy, and you can hear his sincerity. And and God bless him for saying that too, about why do you have to do one thing? You know, as someone who's tried to do more than one thing in his life, I find that to be true, and it's something that our society, for whatever reason, seems to want to suppress. Everybody likes to know you for one thing, and that's it. So if you become known as a football player, all right, fine, you're a football player, and then you try to be a singer. I'm going to be a singer, football player. That guy's a football player. He's not a good singer. Whereas if you didn't know that he was a football player before and you just listened to him sing, you might think he was great. But because he was a football player before, you don't want to give him the opportunity to even be good at it. And you say, well, I just think of him as a football player. And that to me is just lazy thinking on individuals' parts, that we just don't want to know people for more than one thing. And we want to pigeonhole them and box them in. And that's wrong. And we shouldn't do that to anybody. And we certainly shouldn't do it to poor citizens in our city. And we do. Let's be honest. We do. You know, maybe not you who happen to be listening in your car right now and saying, I never do it. But the guy in the car next to you does. And the guy in the car next to him does too. We tend to pigeonhole people who are homeless, who are lacking shelter. And we say, well, you know, they're never going to change, or that's who they are, or those are the people. And the fascinating thing is, you will go to places like the Salvation Army and some of their operations, and you will meet people who are on the staff, and you will say, well, of course, these people are on the staff. You know, they went to school for it, and they got it. And then you'll find out when you're talking that they're former clients.
Sure. Right. That's right.
And that's why they got there. I'm sure Jamie Winkler, who's with us, the Salvation Army Great Lakes Harbor Light System, can attest to that, right, Jamie, that you've got people working in your staff who used to be on the receiving end of the Salvation Army.
That's right. And I really appreciate how, how we're talking about the fact that we are complex individuals where we have physical, emotional, spiritual needs. And the Salvation Army takes a look at that holistic person that is in front of us. And Mitch, the struggle has really grown over these last couple of years with COVID. And I know we're tired of hearing about COVID, but the reality of it is the people that we are serving and the people that are coming to our shelters, the people that we're serving off the bed and bread truck are very complicated. They're dealing with a lot of complicated issues. And a lot of mental health issues has really come about over these last 2 years.
All over the place.
And I mean, even from, all of us have struggled with it. We've all gone through trauma. And so for those that are really caught up in despair, and even the physical health. That's one of the major reasons that causes homelessness is one's physical health.
Medical debt.
Yes, and it's people. The homeless population look like you and me, and these are people that have come upon a hard times, and often it's a physical situation where they burn through short-term disability. If you even have long-term disability, you end up losing your house. You become temporarily homeless, living in a car. Then you lose your car, and then you fall into great despair. And it's hard for people to cope with that. And that's the beautiful thing about the Salvation Army is that we see people's need beyond the hunger, beyond the shelter, but there is that emotional and physical needs. And so we have wonderful programs that are run by staff that are very sensitive to it, and many of our staff know what it's like. And Mitch, Elaine Marion, who oversees our shelter program, she once was on the other side and had come through our program, and we have huge hearts, and so we can totally understand the despair and the situation that people come to us in, and so that's where the begin, where we have compassion. We have understanding, and we have tailored programs to meet those physical and emotional and spiritual needs.
Not a band-aid. No.
Yeah, people hear the Bed and Bread Club, and they tend to think, okay, bed and bread, shelter and food. But the Salvation Army does a lot more than that, and has programs that does so much more than that, and gets into the emotional part of things, and the physical part of things, and the addiction parts of things, and the training and that needs to be done to get a job, to get out of that kind of situation and to break those patterns. And you said it really, really well, Jamie, and I think that this will ring true to everybody listening. Over the course of the last couple of years, you, no doubt, who are listening to us and your loved ones have said to one another at some point, man, this whole COVID thing has just been so hard. This whole last year has been so hard with COVID. I feel so isolated with this whole last year with COVID. Boy, I've been so lonely over the course of the last year with COVID. I've been so down over the course of the last year with COVID. You've said it. We've all said it. The thing is that we've been able to get out of it by, I'm going to take a vacation. I haven't gone anywhere since COVID. We're going on vacation. We're going to go visit our family. We're going to, and we dig our way out of that despair. But we have that same despair. It's just that when you have that despair on the level of people that we're talking about who don't have the economic means to just go take a vacation or buy something or get themselves out of it or go visit the family, that despair takes a darker turn and sometimes can end up in homelessness or in addiction. And we would be the same way if we didn't have the means to pull ourselves out of it. So as you pointed out, Jamie, the population looks just like us. They suffer just like us. They go through the same thing. They just may not have the means to bounce back out of them the same way that we do. And we should be sensitive to that. If we can be nice to ourselves for the gray period we went through with COVID, then we can be nice to others and do the same. So that's why the phone number is 833-SAL-HOPE, 833-SALHOPE, or text the word bread, BREAD. I do that for Steve because sometimes
much appreciated, Mitchell. Meanwhile, getting back
if you keep doing it, Mitchell, you'll get the word right by the time we get
getting
off.
back to
24365.
Terry Crews, what a nice conversation that was. I was a big fan of Brooklyn Nine-Nine and all of his other work. But you talk about the perfect party guest. The dude's a flautist, and a portrait painter.
Yeah.
I mean,
everybody hates.
If the guy could run an omelet station, he'd be all set.
One call for the whole party.
The sky's the limit.
One call for the whole party, man.
He also works balloons.
Balloon animals, he's in there.
Back with more right after this.
I took a trip over to the Salvation Army Harbor Light Center near downtown Detroit and visited the $1.5 million newly updated kitchen inside. It's a collaborative community kitchen where nonprofit farms and food banks can donate food and be quickly processed into thousands of meals for the homeless that live on the streets of Detroit. I caught up with busy head chef Michael Block.
Today we have Make Food Not Waste, which is another not-for-profit organization, and they come and they help us create food for 3,000 to 5,000 homeless people. We built this kitchen as a community kitchen, and that's part of the community, is to not only have volunteers, but have other not-for-profits come in and use this in coordination with us to help nourish the 8,000 to 12,000 homeless in Detroit.
The kitchen updates modernized equipment and allow for 20 volunteers at one time to assist in the food preparation process, as well as improve service delivery. Chef Block, who has been with the Salvation Army for 14 years, says it's been a very rewarding journey.
I came from a fine dining background, which is a lot different, and it's like a 180, but it's a lot more rewarding to like help the people that need it. And so, creating 1.3 to 1.6 million meals a year and just handing them out is it's always a challenge, but it's always extremely rewarding.
The updated Harbor Light Kitchen went from 2,500 square feet to just over 5,000 square feet. And if you add in the dining room renovation, the total space is nearly 8,000 square feet. I'm Lloyd Jackson.
After a storm, Consumers Energy works around the clock to keep you safe and restore your power. But if you see a downed wire, stay 25 feet away. Then call 911 and Consumers Energy. Remember, even if the wire appears harmless, it could be dangerous. It could still be deadly. So stay away and stay alive. Consumers Energy. Count on us.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hi friends, Bill Golling here, and time is running out on our President's Day sales event at Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. For example, qualified Chrysler employees can still lease a 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4 for just $339 a month. Leases for 39 months, 10,000 miles a year with $2,000 down. Since 1966, we've been honored to serve your automotive needs, be it in sales, service, or collision. So buy local and support the hardworking members of our community. That's Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bloomfield Hills, Chelsea, Roseville, or online at golling.com.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
The steak experts at Omaha Steaks are helping you spring into something delicious with their semi-annual sale. Grab all your favorites at 50% off, like tender steaks, ocean fresh seafood, air-chilled chicken, and more. Plus, use promo code HOT at omahasteaks.com at checkout for an additional $30 off your order. Get fired up and spring into something special. But hurry, 50% off site-wide is only for a limited time. Visit omahasteaks.com. Use code HOT at checkout for an additional $30 off during their semi-annual sale today. Minimum order may be required.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Still seeing some slowdowns on I-275 northbound between I-94 and E-Course, and expect minor delays on I-75 northbound between I-696 and 14 Mile. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. A mix of sun and clouds with a high of 31 this afternoon. We'll get some snow showers after midnight tonight with a low of 23. Sunny with a high of 42 for Saturday. Right now partly sunny and 30 degrees. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Welcome to the Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on WJR. $120 feeds 5 people for an entire month. To donate what you can, call 833-SAL-HOPE or text BREAD to 24365 now. Once again, here's Mitch Albom.
Yes, please call those numbers, make a donation, help out our neediest citizens. It'd be a nice way to go into the weekend.
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
say I did some good today. I did like Terry Crews did. I just made a donation. Then I went out and played my flute.
Are you a flautist, Mitchell?
I am not a flautist.
No.
You were more impressed with him about that flute than the.
I was, man. I'm impressed by. Flute's a hard thing
That's
to play.
a difficult instrument. Yes.
Just the way you have to hold your lips and hold the instrument itself. And just even having to call yourself a flautist, which sounds like someone who takes his clothes off in front of everybody.
Gets arrested for it. Yeah.
Alex Zontic doesn't have business card.
You ain't got it, flout it.
It does have the best carrying case, though.
Yeah.
It does have the best carrying case.
You just keep it in your back pocket.
Well, you have the little case that's like a little pool, half a pool.
Yes, it is.
And
You
it's
don't
the
need
best
roadies.
case. It's the best case.
But to be
I'm
a former
making
NFL
a
player,
note of we have to put him on the Say Detroit Radiothon in
Oh,
December and get him on camera with the flute and get him to do a little maybe what's that
duet?
one that is so famous, Bolero by Jean-Paul
Roger's
Roubaud?
Bolero.
Yeah.
and also Mitchell, you could for a
The
certain
one they
donation,
played in 10.
Yes. Roger's Bolero.
for a certain donation, Terry Crews will paint a portrait of you.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Even better.
Well, he
All right,
turned
let's say hello to Kate Smith, not
not
Kate
the-
Smith, which I'm sure she does all the time. But the case manager with the Salvation Army, Matt's shelter. Hi, Kate. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great, thank you. I'm sure that's the 100 millionth time somebody said not that Kate Smith.
Yep. It's
Sorry.
okay. It's okay.
So you are kind of more familiar with the bed portion of Bed and Bread for the Salvation Army. Elaborate on that for us.
Correct. So we currently are housing 50 people. We have single men and women, and then we have families. And they get breakfast, lunch, and dinner through the shelter. They get their own bed and a locker. They're given a case manager when they come in, and we work on goals anywhere from identifying documents to helping them with housing, getting a job, transportation. I mean, the list is endless of the things that we are able to help folks with because of the funds that we get from the Bed and Bread Club.
Wow, that's fantastic. And this is in Warren, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Whereabouts? I'm just curious. I think
We
I
are
know
on
where I
Mound
can-
in between 9 and 10 Mile.
And the population that make up the 50 that you take care of, is there a common thread amongst them?
Not really. I was listening a little bit earlier, and you guys were talking about homeless. People that are experiencing homelessness are just like you and I, and it's really true. We had a family over the summer who had a house fire and needed our services. We have, we have someone who lost their job because of COVID, and lost their house. We have someone who came up from South Carolina to get a new job. So it's just, there's no like standard homeless person.
Well, what's interesting of the 3 cases you just cited, none of them fall in the category of, oh, those are just people who are mentally ill, mumbling to themselves, drooling, and if I give them a shelter tonight, tomorrow they're going to be homeless again.
Right.
That's just that awful stereotype that people who don't want to know about poverty and don't want to look at it too carefully because they see how close it could come to snipping them.
Correct.
But everybody you just mentioned, a house fire, loss of a job due to COVID. I mean, God, those are things that happen to people who are really well off.
Right.
Some of the richest members of society face those things. So we all are only a few steps away from needing a hand. And that, I think, is the point of when we try to do events like this is to show how close we are to one another. And I would imagine over the last couple of years with the economy being what it is, and you probably had a lot of COVID firings and a lot of people who just economically suddenly were in a different situation than they were 3 years ago.
Yeah, we did. And the shelter was blessed. We were very diligent about keeping people safe and healthy during the pandemic and making sure that if folks got sick, we were protecting the rest of our staff and our other clients, and so we're definitely grateful for that. But we're full 365 days a year. When someone moves into housing, another person calls to take the bed. It's just it seems like a never-ending cycle.
Well, before we let you go, give us a success story, because we're focusing a lot on the people in need, but the money that we're trying to raise here today isn't just about sustaining people's hunger for another day. It's about turning the tide and hopefully getting them out of that system. Give us an example of how that has worked.
That family that I told you about with the house fire, they moved into a brand new house in Warren. So they're local. Their kids are still participating in our youth programs. They get to go to church with us. So it's, that's probably my favorite story, is they came in with nothing. I mean, they literally walked in the door with the clothes on their back and their family. It was a 2-parent family with 5 children. And we got the kids into summer camp within the week that they were here, and they had a blast with that. And then, like I said, they were able to move into housing, and it was in the area
and they were able
wanted.
to do that by virtue of the fact that they stayed with you.
Correct.
And had housing, so they didn't have costs until they could save some money and get on their feet again.
Correct.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That to me is a hand up, not a handout.
Yes.
And I don't know how anybody wouldn't do that for one another. If you had a family member who had a house fire and they had a husband and wife and 5 kids, you'd do the same thing, right?
Absolutely.
You'd move them into your home and you'd help them, and you'd say, until you can get back on your feet. Well, why wouldn't you do that for your fellow citizens then? We're not asking them to move them into your home. I mean, that might be a little bit more than some people are willing to do. But if you could help them get into a home, which is what we're trying to do here, and get back on their feet, why wouldn't you want to do that?
Absolutely.
Phone numbers to do that are 833-SAL-HOPE, 833-725-4673, or give texting BREAD to 24365. Thank you, Kate.
Thank you, guys.
Kate Smith joining us there from the Matt's Shelter in Warren. Again, a couple more minutes to go on this $125,000.
Here we go.
Let's get that
We'll find out if we were successful, but you don't want to find out that we missed it by a few $1,000s. So make those calls.
Every
Again,
dollar you donate is 2. So
That's right.
That's right.
Double.
Yep.
Let's do
Ford
that.
Motor Company Fund is taking care of that up to $125,000. So let's get that full $125,000 and make sure that we get the match.
Get it all. And that'll feed a lot of people.
Absolutely. We'll come back in the 3 o'clock hour with a little bit more. And coming up at the 4 o'clock hour, maybe Kevin wants to stick around and work for 2 bosses because he works with us, but he used to work with Dick Burton. And good to just have Dick yell something and watch him jump.
Hey, Mitchell, we have a new total, Mitch.
We got a new total? Go ahead.
Oh, $759,509.
Yeah. All right. Let's shoot for that million before this day is over.
I think I have a future in announcing new totals.
833-SAL-HOPE, 833-725-4673, or text the word bread to 24365. Back with more right after.
Hear the real story of White Boy Rick, hosted by Detroit journalist Charlie Linden. Live at the Andiamo Celebrity Showroom in Warren, Saturday, March 18th. White Boy Rick. His life before, during, and after prison with a live Q&A. Tickets at andiamoshowroom.com or at 586-268-3200. VIP meet and greets also available. The real story of White Boy Rick, a one-on-one with journalist Charlie LaDuff at the Andiamo Showroom, Saturday, March 18th.
Hi, I'm Joe, and this is my wife.
I only trust the guys with my home.
You'd think that would have bothered me, maybe a little jealous, but no. Since my wife found the InsideOutsideGuys.com, I get to golf more, hunt more, and I get to spend more time with my beautiful wife and kids.
Aww.
A sincere thank you to the Inside Outside Guys.
For housing information you can trust, listen Saturday and Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. or 24/7 at theinsideoutsideguys.com.
The Inside Outside Guys are brought to you in part by Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Whatever temperature this winter brings, whatever technical issues arise, Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning is ready to help. Whether you need a quick fix, a $59 tune-up, or an entirely new heating system, Sharon's will do whatever it takes for your family's comfort. Schedule an appointment today by visiting SharonsHeating.com. That's SharonsHeating.com. Sharon's, the home of the $59 tune-up. Bryant, whatever it takes.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
Even more sanctions on Russia. Lisa Brady, Fox News, though ramping up the pressure hasn't stopped the war in Ukraine.
We need independence, not just on paper. We need real independence to defend our people.
Ukraine's president threw a translator marking 1 year since the invasion by urging Russia to stop bombing them. Secretary of State Antony Blinken warning the UN Security Council today that Russia will use any pause in fighting to regain strength and relaunch the war, as China proposes a peace plan after its top diplomat met with President Putin this week. Just getting word that earthquakes earlier this month are now blamed for more than 50,000 deaths in Turkey and Syria. Turkish officials say more than 100,000 buildings are destroyed or damaged beyond repair. The White House says President Biden had an update today on the toxic train wreck in Ohio from multiple officials, including Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, who visited East Palestine yesterday, nearly 3 weeks after the crash. Many residents still not satisfied with the federal response.
I think he should have been here when the evacuation was lifted.
Absolutely too little, too late. And we have Biden over in Ukraine handing out millions of dollars. Where is he?
That's just one aspect. It's overall, everything has just failed up.
The Ohio governor and the EPA continue to offer assurances about air and water quality. Tonight, famed environmental activist Aaron Brockovich plans a town hall in East Palestine.
No, these are great.
High school has extra officers on campus today after someone brought an AR-15 to a basketball game last night. Police in Raleigh say the suspect, who was taken into custody during the game at Millbrook High, is not a student there, but is a juvenile. No word yet on where the gun came from. For now, the investigation continues. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business needs, from quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options. Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
WJR Traffic First is sponsored by Mendelssohn Kornblum Orthopedics. Knee pain? Dr. Stephen Mendelssohn of Mendelssohn Kornblum Orthopedics now offers a drug-free solution. With peripheral nerve stimulation, knee pain stops, giving you your active lifestyle back. Make your appointment with Dr. Stephen Mendelssohn today, 855-750-5757. A disabled vehicle blocks your right lane on I-275 southbound after I-94, and we also have a wreck on I-94 eastbound at I-75. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Mix of sun and clouds with a high of 31 this afternoon. We'll get some snow showers later, right around midnight with a low of 23. Sunny with a high of 42 Saturday. Right now, partly sunny and 30 degrees. I'm Rich Bluzinski, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This is Matt Paul, Executive Vice President, DTE, with an important safety message. Wednesday's major ice storm took down several thousand power lines. We're urging everyone, especially kids and pets, to please stay out of their yards. Be on the lookout for fallen wires. Stay 25 feet away from them and anything they may be touching, as those could also be electrified. And report down power lines by calling 1-800-477-4747. Please stay safe.
If your power is out, a generator can make things easier. But DTE wants you to know how to keep your family safe. Never ever use a portable generator inside your home. It emits carbon monoxide, which can be deadly. Keep it outside, away from windows and doors, so the fumes won't come in. Read the manufacturer's safety instructions and follow them. Generators can make outages more bearable, but please use them safely. DTE.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-857-5656. That's 800-857-5656.
Hi, this is Kevin Dietz. Question: are you a business owner? Do you like free government money? If so, listen up. The federal government has promised over $135 billion in tax refunds for small and medium-sized businesses that kept employees on payroll through COVID. Business owners are eligible for the Employee Retention Credit even if they receive PPP funds. RefundsPro.com specializes in cutting through the red tape of qualifying for this government program to make it quick and easy. Refunds Pro does all the heavy lifting, and most of our refunds are over $100,000. Couldn't you use that money right about now? There's no downside to apply and absolutely no fees unless you receive a refund. RefundsPro.com has helped hundreds of businesses qualify. And the best part, you don't have to pay a penny back to the government. This is as close as it gets to free government money. There is a deadline, so visit RefundsPros.com and get started before it's too late. Visit RefundsPro.com. That's RefundsPro.com.
This is the 36th Annual Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on 760 WJR. With 3 ways to donate now. Visit sametrodetroit.org. Text BREAD to 24365. Or call 833-SAL-HOPE. And keep the Bed and Bread trucks rolling. Now with more, here's Mitch Albom.
All right, we welcome you to the 3 o'clock hour here. We're working a little early compared to our normal shift.
Is that so bad?
No, I just got up. But
You're on the same time zone, right?
Yeah, I'm in Haiti right now at the orphanage, and maybe that's why it's a little easier for me, particularly today, to relate to what we're trying to do with the Salvation Army. I mean, the starvation here is so regular, and the amount of people who just would do anything for some bread and some water. Where starvation in Haiti is on a whole different level, and the homelessness in Haiti is on a whole different level. I mean, there are no shelters
like that down there, like no Salvation Army down there.
No,
there is no
That's your
Salvation
juxtaposition
Army.
right there, man.
Is it the poorest country in the world?
It's the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere.
Hemisphere.
It's the 2nd or 3rd poorest country in the world. There's 2 in Africa that are considered poorer. But I mean, if there's worse than this, I don't want to see it.
Right.
And so.
And where's the hope, Mitchell, that it's going to improve? I mean, when you had that young man on with us yesterday, hope is a powerful thing.
Yeah.
But if you are constantly surrounded by negativity and it just doesn't seem to go away in Haiti, that would be just terrible.
Yeah, well, and that is what it is. I mean, it's just there is no hope. You don't run into people.
Well, you bring hope, that's for sure. Yeah, it takes a village.
Our little corner of it, there's a lot of hope, and our little behind our walls. But that is, to juxtapose it back to what we're doing here. I mean, that is why an organization like the Salvation Army, we take it for granted in America that organizations like the Salvation Army or the Bed and Bread Club are just going to pop up because there's a problem.
Right.
And we don't realize how uniquely American that is.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very, very American approach to problems that other countries, many other countries, some developed countries, and so-called sophisticated countries just don't deal with these kind of problems that way. It's like, well, you've got to make it on your own. And if you aren't, then you're in the poor class, or you're just in that. You're never supposed to rise above that class, because the American ideal was founded on a principle that anybody through hard work can become anything. There is like an innate sense that we owe it to the poorest citizens and the most disadvantaged citizens to have a chance to do that. Many countries in the world don't believe that. They just believe, well, that's the way it is. There's the upper class, there's the middle class, and there's the lower class. And if you're born into that class, that's where you're supposed to stay. Thank God we don't believe that.
Right.
And thank God we don't have an approach to it like Haiti does, which is, yeah, well, everybody's poor, so what are you supposed to do? So we can make a difference, and we have an obligation to do it.
And Jamie, we can make a difference now. We need to match. This is a double match hour, so we need to match that. We need $39,000 in this hour at least, and we got 39,000 listeners. So everybody who's listening right now, call and donate at least $1, and we'll knock it out right now. Let's get it knocked out before we even get to 3:30. We now want to knock it out now. So, like I said, get on the phone.
I wish for something like this, because you're right, Kenny. We've got 39,000 people listening to us right now. If we could really just say, all right, it's only going to cost you $1.
It costs you
and we'll shut up.
And we'll be quiet. Right.
And we'll shut up.
We'll be quiet right now.
It's like when the Christmas, the bad Christmas carolers, the bad Christmas carolers come to your home, and you say, how much do you want to go away?
Right.
And so this is
free yourself a Ken Brown about $4. That's a deal in any country.
Oh, then they'll
There
be
you
pledging
go.
100.
That's a deal in any country.
So I'd love to just see, can we get 39,000 people to call in and give $1? And if you happen to be on the phone and you say, you know what, I'll give you $5. I'll take care of the 4 people behind me.
5 if he misses Monday too. But that's fine. We'll do it.
And for the record, we still have 50 minutes left, so we can't shut up.
Elon Musk line 2.
Okay. All right. So call that number now and shut us up. 833-SAL-HOPE. 833-725-4673. For $5 extra, Kenny will play the flute.
I'll play
833-SAL-HOPE.
I'll play the instrument that you give me.
Crash course right now. Yeah.
Or text the word bread, BREAD, to 24365. 833-SAL-HOPE. Jamie Winkler is with us still. He is the Salvation Army Great Lakes Harbor Light System Director. Tell us a story, Jamie, about William.
Well, William, he's been coming in and out of our shelter. He's done well from time to time, and then he's struggled from time to time. But he's been dealing with medical issues, and this has been a little bit of a theme of what we've been talking about. And he's also had some legal issues that he's needed assistance with. But, that's the beautiful thing about the Salvation Army is our full continuum of care. And so when he comes to us and there's another challenge that he has to overcome, that's where the Salvation Army just really shines. And, our goal is to help people find low-income permanent housing. And for William, that's exactly what he needs. But there are just so many different kinds of struggles that people deal with. I don't have to tell anyone about the cost of food and the challenges of what it's like to go to the grocery store and those challenges. And the common story that we hear is, I'm struggling to pay rent. I'm struggling to pay for food. I'm struggling to pay
I don't know if we have
the medicine that my doctor says that I need. One of those has to give.
No.
Which one is it?
They're choosing
It's just
between
pictures
food and
this
medicine.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Today I was on the bed and bread truck, and we stop at the heart of the city of Detroit, which for me is the Rosa Parks Transit bus location. Sure. And for many people that are homeless, this is a place of refuge to get out of the cold, is the bus station. Right. And so a lady came to us today, and out of all the people that were there, we were there for a good hour. Can you believe it? That's what the need is. And Mitch, I was almost going to be late to this opportunity here for the Radiothon. But
that's nothing new with our show.
The need was so heavy. But anyway, so out of all of these people, here's a lady that came to us, no gloves, no hat, and just a sweatshirt. And she had a few other shirts underneath the sweatshirt, but I noticed that she didn't have a coat. And so I talked to her about that, and she needed help, and she asked about shelter. And again, this is the beautiful thing about the Bed and Bread program, that it starts with the most basic human need, and that's nutrition. That's a hot meal. And for this woman who desperately needed shelter with no coat, in fact, she was telling me that at the Rosa Parks Transit Station, while you can be there at night, there's no heat in the building, but you can be there at night. You cannot sleep. You cannot sleep.
Wow.
And you could just see it in her eyes. She was exhausted and just needed a safe place to be warm and to be sheltered and to get sleep. And but she's a former Starbucks employee, had a medical condition, and now, unfortunately, in the heart of Detroit, our Starbucks closed in Midtown, and she's struggling. So we brought her to our shelter today, and so that's the story behind this Bed and Bread program. That we are here to help, and this is no better time than right now that your dollar will be matched, and we just encourage you to please call 833-SAL-HOPE and make a very generous donation for our friends and neighbors.
It's a great story, and can't say it better than that. We'll be back with more right after this.
Chef Michael Block, a classically trained chef who's worked in some of the area's fanciest kitchens, now oversees the feeding of the city's neediest and hungriest people.
93,000 loaves of bread a year, 300 gallons of hot chocolate in the winter months a week, 128,000 hot dogs a year.
Each meal off the Bed and Bread truck usually contains 2 sandwiches, fresh fruit, yogurt, soup, snack, and a hot drink.
So what we try to do is give enough calories for a day, for a whole day, because we realize that might be the only meal that person has for the whole day.
And the truck never takes a day off.
Thanksgiving and Christmas, we send out a full turkey meal on those 2 days. So I go through 1,800 pounds of turkey, 1,000 pounds of mashed potatoes, 1,000 pounds of stuffing, 800 pounds of vegetables. And it's all done from scratch, and it's all done by volunteers.
Chef Michael says he doesn't look back on his fancy days fixing top dollar dishes for discriminating palates. Now he says he feeds bodies and souls.
We're trying our hardest to do the most good for the most people, and with whatever donations we get.
Marie Osborne, WJR News.
After a storm, Consumers Energy works around the clock to keep you safe and restore your power.
So I think that
But
really
if you see a downed wire, stay 25 feet away. Then call 911 and Consumers Energy. Remember, even if the
probably- and
wire
I didn't-
appears harmless, it could be dangerous. It could still be deadly. So stay away and stay alive. Consumers Energy. Count on us.
Oh, sure.
Get answers to your retirement planning questions by joining the president of the Brzezinski Group, Brett Brzezinski, for Inside Retirement, Sunday afternoons at 2. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
If you're looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle, please think of the Golling Automotive Group. Hi friends, Bill Golling here, letting you know we have some great February President's Day pricing and incentives at all of our stores. That's Golling Chrysler Dodge, Jeep Ram in Bloomfield Hills, Chelsea, and Roseville. Golling Alfa Romeo Fiat in Birmingham. Golling Buick GMC in Lake Orion. Golling Toyota in Warren. And Golling Kia in Madison Heights. We also have great service departments and body shops to service all your needs as well. And always remember to buy local and support our community. See more online at golling.com.
Join Paul W. Smith Wednesday, March 1st from 6 till 9 a.m. as he broadcasts live at the 2023 Economic Outlook Breakfast presented by Huntington Bank on 760 WJR.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Tara, quote, "My doctor wanted me to do saline rinses for my allergies, but I've never been able to successfully use a neti pot. Navage uses suction power, so it's foolproof. There are nights when I'll have particularly bothersome allergies. I'll bust it out, and the results are immediate. It's such a relief. It's become a lifesaver. Unquote. She's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
21,
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
WJR Traffic First is also sponsored by Guernsey Farms Dairy. Drinking Guernsey milk 3 times daily is recommended by many nutritional guidelines for meeting daily vitamins the body needs to feel good. Make sure when visiting your local grocer this winter to pick up that award-winning Michigan-made Guernsey milk, ice cream, or lemonade, or visit their scoop shop and restaurant in Northville. Picked up a wreck on I-96 eastbound after Novi Road. A disabled vehicle blocks your right lane on I-275 southbound after I-94. And we also have a wreck on I-94 eastbound at I-75. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Shelving.com. Maintain the safety of your warehouse staff and inventory with Shelving.com's selection of industrial products, such as high-strength guardrails and safety gear like padded work belts and gloves, or create secure storage, durable Unirack pallet racks, post protectors, and safety netting. At Shelving.com, we rack your world. A mix of sun and clouds with a high of 31 this afternoon. We'll get some snow showers after midnight tonight with a low of 23. Sunny with a high of 42 Saturday. Right now, partly sunny and 30 degrees. I'm Rich Fluzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Welcome to the Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on WJR. $120 feeds 5 people for an entire month. To donate what you can, call 833-SAL-HOPE or text BREAD to 24365 now. Once again, here's Mitch Albom.
So as we've been talking about raising money for the needy and Salvation Army in general as an organization, the phrase "there but for the grace of God go I," I'm sure has run through many people's minds as we've talked about the short distance between those of us who are being called upon to help and those who are we are helping. So our next guest personifies that. His name is John Slappy, and he is a Salvation Army employee. However, before being a Salvation Army employee, he once received services as a client for the Salvation Army. So he's uniquely positioned to talk about both sides of it. John, thank you for spending a couple of minutes with us.
All righty. Thank you.
Tell us about your experience as a Salvation Army client.
My experiences was great. I had ran out of all avenues, and I have ran out of help. And I went to the Salvation Army, and they didn't tell me no. They didn't turn me away. They said, come on in. The Salvation Army ended up giving me a hand up, not a handout, due to my addiction, which was alcohol and drugs. I done it. I went there numerous of times, and they never said no. And that's why I became involved with the Salvation Army, because they never said no. And their outreach ministry has reached many of people in the world.
How did you fall into your situation of, as you say, alcohol and drugs?
I started at a young age, before high school and middle school, not wanting to attend school, hanging with the wrong crowd. I thought it was fun. It was, at that time, it was something just simple. Oh, I don't drink all the time, or I don't do drugs all the time. But it continued to lead from my teen years into my 40s.
And when you say you came back, obviously you had a couple cracks at this, you or more than one. You came back and they never said no. That's an important thing to remember too, because not everybody gets over the hump the first time out. Yep, and it's easy to say, well, you were here once, we're not, it didn't work, so forget it, don't come back. But obviously with you, it just took a couple of times, but then it did take. Talk about what the difference is between an organization that gives you one chance and an organization that gives you more.
The difference is most of us addicts and alcoholics, we're not going to get it on the first go round.
Right.
It's going to take time to bump our heads. You're looking at changing an old lifestyle and beginning a new lifestyle, and that doesn't happen overnight. So the difference would be you have to give a person more than one chance. Christ gave us more than one chance, so you have to give others more than one chance. Everyone's not going to get it right away.
Mm-hmm. Well said. So eventually the chance took. And now describe your situation now and what you're doing with the Salvation Army.
God has really blessed me. I joined the Salvation Army 2014. I was in Indianapolis. Then I transferred to Chicago and became a chaplain there. Now I'm here in Detroit area, which I am the community ministry director at the Connor Creek Corps. I handle the after-school program for the children. I handle anything that's going on in the Corps. I am also a member of the church, the Salvation Army Church. So we have numerous of programs. I am located on 3000 Connor Street here in Detroit. We handle the east side. So we extend that hand up and not that hand out to
Do
others.
you ever encounter anyone who reminds you of a younger John Slappy?
A lot of people. That's why I'm really, if I had the bed and bread program when I was coming along, it would have helped me out, because we have people out there that will step over others and go on about their business instead of helping their neighbor out.
That's true.
Christ said, love thy neighbor as I have loved you. And if we have more of that in the world, I think it would be a better place. And with the Bed and Bread program that has serviced over 72,000 annually for shelter, and was that more than 1.3 million in meals annually? I think we can reach more. And I'm asking, for others to help, because there's more John Slappies out there in the world that need the help that we're overlooking or overstepping.
And what an inspiration you are, John, when you come across those who face similar challenges that you overcame. For you to tell your story to them, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
Very inspirational.
Thank you so much. I had a chance to look at it just this morning. On the east side, our power's out.
Yeah.
I've helped some. I went to my neighbor's house, me and my wife and my son. We knocked on doors, done wellness checks. Because they said our power wouldn't be back on to Sunday evening. That's estimation.
Right.
So now I have a chance to help someone and make a change in someone else's life.
Pay forward.
That's what I want to do, play it forward.
Yeah.
Like I say, I woke up about 2 and the Lord was like, you see, people came and asked me, would you like to come stay with me? Did you need anything to eat? And that's how we have to be with others and with everyone, because that helping hand can change someone's life.
2:00 in the morning, you woke up, John.
Yes, with the revelation.
Can I get you a cup of coffee?
He's a very pragmatic man, John.
And that's the giving spirit of our own Steve Courtney.
I do what I can do, Mitch.
That's who he is.
John Slappy, thank you for sharing your story with us.
Yeah,
it means
thank
a lot.
you
and
so
it's
much.
Very
Very
touching.
inspiration. Really appreciate that. So
Thank
there you
you.
see what we've been talking about there, but for the grace of all of us, go all the rest of us. And so you can make a difference.
Right.
833-SAL-HOPE, 833-SALHOPE, or text the word bread to 24365.
Let's get that 39,000
Get her going.
this hour.
Yeah,
The
come on.
$1 at a time. Let's do it. We only got a half an hour left in this match, so we got to get it out there, Mitch. So 2 for 1s on this now. Every dollar you give us 2. So come on, let's get it going. If you're
Faster
thinking
we get
about
to the
it,
39,000,
that's right.
the
Don't
faster
think about
Kenny
it in
shuts
401. Don't think about it 401. We need it before 4. So let's get it going right now.
All right. It's 760 WJR. Back with more after this.
When a storm hits and power goes out, Consumers Energy crews are working to restore power day and night. So when you see our crews or the amber lights on our Consumers Energy trucks, remember to slow down and go around. This gives our coworkers space to restore your power as quickly and safely as possible. Thank you for looking out for our crews while you're on the road. Consumers Energy. Count on us.
Making your bathroom as safe as possible is key to maintaining your independence and staying in your home for as long as possible. Hi, it's Paul W. A big part of making your bathroom safer is eliminating that step over the side of the tub to take a shower. That's where my friend Victor, the owner of Victor's Home Solutions, comes in. They will convert your old bathtub that you probably never use into a beautiful walk-in shower that is not only stylish, but a much safer way to bathe. It features a low step-up entry, slip-resistant floors, and options such as grab bars, shelving, seats. The list goes on. I've used Victor's to work on my home, and I can unconditionally recommend his quality of work and customer service. Stop stepping over that tub. Step into a new shower. Call Victor's Home Solutions today for a free in-home design appointment and estimate. Call them at 734-6666-914. That's 734-6666-914. Or book an appointment online at victors.com.
Get answers to your retirement planning questions by joining the president of the Brzezinski Group, Brett Brzezinski, for Inside Retirement, Sunday afternoons at 2. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Hear the real story of White Boy Rick, hosted by Detroit journalist Charlie LaDuff. Live at the Andiamo Celebrity Showroom in Warren, Saturday, March 18th. White Boy Rick. His life before, during, and after prison with a live Q&A. Tickets at andiamoshowroom.com or at 586-268-3200. VIP meet and greets also available. The real story of White Boy Rick, a one-on-one with journalist Charlie LaDuff at the Andiamo Showroom, Saturday, March 18th. Detroit's News Talk, 760 WJR.
Fox News, I'm Kathleen Maloney. The U.S. imposing new sanctions on those helping Russia continue its invasion of Ukraine, including the Chinese.
These are all entities that were chosen specifically to put more pressure on Mr. Putin and his ability to prosecute the war in Ukraine.
White House National Security Council spokesman John Kirby. There are also new sanctions against Russia. Blizzard warnings for parts of Los Angeles County as a dangerous winter storm batters surrounding mountains.
By the end of this storm, we're talking 30 hours of consecutive snowfall. We could see anywhere from 5 to 6 feet of snow, and it is already wreaking havoc across the Golden State.
Fox Weather's Nicole Valdez. The storm causing power outages and road closures. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
An accident slows you down on M5 northbound at 14 Mile, and we still have that wreck on I-96 eastbound after Novi Road, and northbound Southfield Freeway between Ford Road and Warren Avenues looking a bit sluggish. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Mix of sun and clouds with a high of 31 this afternoon. We'll get some snow showers after midnight tonight. A low of 23 for the overnight. Sunny with a high of 42 Saturday. Right now, partly sunny and 30 degrees. I'm Rich Luzinski, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. Want to be 100% certain about your taxes? Jackson Hewitt backs your return for life. Switch today and get 50% off tax prep. 50% off is a limited time offer for new clients filing at participating locations. Max value $200. Visit jacksonhewitt.com/50 for terms.
After a storm, Consumers Energy works around the clock to keep you safe and restore your power. But if you see a downed wire, stay 25 feet away. Then call 911 and Consumers Energy. Remember, even if the wire appears harmless, it could be dangerous. It could still be deadly. So stay away and stay alive. Consumers Energy. Count on us.
I never write reviews, but Navage is so amazing, I had to leave one. Nothing's ever cleared out my sinuses as well. I'm blown away by how Navage works. That's a review from Carrie, and it's one of over 100,000 online testimonials praising Navage. I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I've talked about flushing out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs. How Navage's powered suction can help you breathe better, and how your nose is the body's air filter, and Navage will clean it out. But don't take my word for it. What do people like Chad say, who wrote, Navage has helped clear out my nasal passages every single night. My wife says my snoring has gone way down. Snorefest be gone, unquote. Navage is the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million customers to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Have you been told you need spine surgery or just sick of living in pain? The Disc Institute has a proven, painless alternative. If your neck, back, or sciatic pain is due to a herniated, degenerative, or bulging disc, then you actually have two problems. One, your pain, and two, your bad disc. Drugs, therapies, epidurals, and new pain lasers are designed to only treat your pain, but they're not designed to treat your disc problem. And this is crucial because your bad disc is what's causing your pain in the first place. Without addressing your disc problem, your problem will get worse, which can ultimately lead to surgery. At the Disc Institute, we have a proven solution to solve both of your problems, your pain and the bad disc that's causing it, with our high-tech, non-invasive treatments. This is what can stop your pain without surgery. Call me at the Disc Institute at 586-416-DISC. That's 586-416-3472. We'll even review your MRI for no charge. Call 586-416-DISC. Reclaim your life.
Reach out, touch faith.
Depeche Mode, live in concert in Detroit. Memento Mori World Tour 2023. Little Caesars Arena, November 8th. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new album, Memento Mori, is available everywhere March 24th. For more, visit DepecheMode.com.
You've got the 2023 Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on WJR. It's the charity drive that shelters more than 72,000 Metro Detroiters every year. Call and donate right now. 833-SAL-HOPE or text BREAD to 24365. Now back to more with Mitch Albom.
All right, we do welcome you back here on 760 WJR.
All right, Mitch, update. 16,000 more to go. Half of you want to keep me quiet. Half of you don't. So we need 16 more. 16,000 people listening right now. Donate at least $1, and that's it. Let's do it. Let's get that money before 4 o'clock.
Look at you doing the math. That's the story of the day.
That is. I'm tired. Thank you very much. But anyway, let's get that money. What's the number again? Let's get it out there right now. 833-725-4673. Sal Hope. Before you with the phone, 725-4673. Let's do it.
Thank you, Kenny.
And for all my friends, it does work on a rotary, just so you know.
Okay.
Emma, dial Garfield.
Yeah. Those calls be coming in at 402. We got to get them in now.
No, get them in now.
Get them in now.
So we heard a very inspiring story by John Slappy there. Another story of similar background, James Scott, who is a current Salvation Army employee, but also who once received services from the Salvation Army. James, thank you for joining us here on the program.
Yeah, thank you.
So tell us about how you first came to the Salvation Army as a client. What was your need?
In the summer of 1995, I found myself in deep despair, and my whole life was in ruins. I was homeless and living on the streets for 4 years. I was addicted to alcohol and drugs. I was living in old houses and eating out of trash cans. Sometimes I found a bed at a shelter. One day I was standing on the corner with tears in my eyes. I looked up at the sky, and as the tears hit the ground, I said, God, if I'm going to stop, you're going to have to stop me. I thought I was going to die on the streets and on drugs. Not long after that, I heard about the Salvation Army. I came to the Salvation Army on Wednesday, October 25th, 1995, looking for help. You never forget when you were set free. I was looking for help from anyone, somebody to tell me how to get off of drugs. They gave me clothes. They fed me 3 meals a day and a snack. And they nursed me back to health. mentally and spiritually through their recovery classes and spiritual counseling. I know it was God that led me to the Salvation Army. I completed their alcohol and drug recovery program, and God broke the chains of addiction in my life. For some reason, the Salvation Army hired me. That was 27 years, 4 months ago today. And I'm eternally grateful. For me, this is not a job, it's not a career, it's a calling from God to stand in the gap for men and women who are homeless, hungry, hurting, living on the streets, and perishing with no hope. Standing in the gap for them is my thankful response to God for saving my life through the Salvation Army. What I want people to know is this. When you donate to the Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club, you are not just helping to feed and shelter people. You are saving lives. I am a life saved.
Wow.
Yeah.
James, I'm just blown away by that. I didn't want to interrupt any of it. It's a powerful, powerful story. And I think when you said that was 20, what did you say, 28 years ago?
27 years.
27 almost
years.
28. Yeah.
4 days ago today. Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
And all during that time, I have to imagine that you have told that story to many, many people who are young versions of James Scott going
Yeah,
through it.
yeah.
What in
Mhm.
particular do you share with them? I mean, you gave us your full account because you're just talking to an audience. But when you're talking to another person who is in the throes of addiction, hopelessness, feeling like, look, this isn't going to work. I've tried these things before. I've gone these places before. It never takes. It doesn't take. What do you say to them that maybe makes the difference between, because of your experience?
You have to replace that lifestyle of alcohol and drugs with something. And I replaced it with the will of God for my life. My will left me in an old house for dead. My will got me a felony. God's will has me free, clean, sober, a productive member of society. I've had my spiritual awakening, and I'm a no-nonsense person. And I have set my heart and my mind and my soul on loving every human being I meet. I'm 62, and I'm just not playing anymore. I'm serious, and you have to get serious. You have to look yourself in the mirror and begin to really understand that life is so precious and short. So that's what it is for me.
I would imagine that makes a lot of people change their mind. Is there any particular case that you've come across in the last 27 years that you're proud of, that by virtue of your helping them or reaching out to them, they really did change their lives?
Yeah, there's a man named Calvin, and this is just recently, a couple of weeks ago, and I was here, and he, when I came to visit him on his unit, he was asking me, "What's the good word?" And I would tell him the good word and tell him what it was and everything, and then he started coming to see me talk and speak and everything, and so then he said he wanted to give his life to God. And he kept saying that, and he's alcoholic and everything. So I had a one-on-one in my office, and that was Friday the 10th of this month. And he received God back into his life and Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior. And he's still working on it and free and clean today, right now. And I think that's a defining moment as people see me, and I believe in personal, meeting people where they are, and I believe in natural, being natural and open and candid with those that we are serving.
Well, your story would be great if it began and ended with your getting help from the Salvation Army and turning your life around. What makes it great plus is that you're now part of the Salvation Army, and you're now part of changing other people's lives that same way. And I think one of the things that makes the Salvation Army unique and particularly effective here in Michigan is that they do employ people like yourself, because they understand that there's no experience like a lived experience, and there's no wisdom like lived wisdom. And when it comes from someone who's never gone through it, the person on the other end can look at them and say, but what would you know about it? When they look at James Scott, they say, what would you know about it? You can say, I'll tell you everything I know about it. I know more than you do. And that makes all the difference. So hats off to you, James, for the great work that you have done, for the way that you pulled your life together, and for being an inspiration, I hope, to people who are listening to us right now to donate to the Salvation Army. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
James Scott there, who's just a
pragmatic
story.
approach.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know if I can make it through this hour. We better get to that 39,000 because each story is breaking
These
my heart.
last two stories, I mean, that right there itself, man.
Yeah.
And you could just tell in the power in his voice.
Yeah.
You know, take away anything he ever said, just the power in his voice and the conviction in his voice.
Honestly.
Yeah.
From 27 years ago, 4 days ago.
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
now, you know.
Counting every day.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Yep.
many
Yep.
former addicts do exactly that. One day at a time is a serious phrase. It's not just it's not hyperbole, and they literally are counting each day as a successful day and a day sober. So
And you
good
don't
for him.
realize how much an addict telling that story to an addict today means that. I mean, we can say it to a blue in the face up here, but for him saying it, it's 10 times what you just
Powerful
heard.
testimony.
Well, just like John Slappy earlier, you know, you live that life and you beat it, and the odds are against you. Let's just not ignore the elephant in the room. And for them to do that in a very spiritual way and become part of the process is an amazing story.
I think kudos go to Salvation Army too for their pragmatic approach of treating mind, body, and spirit, the whole person,
Certainly.
not just putting a Band-Aid on one meal.
And
But
you
they can't
do that
do it for
with-
free.
No.
That's why we
Yeah,
need
that's
that
right.
dollar. You can't do it for free. We can talk
That's what
about
I
it,
was
we can
going
do
to
everything
say.
else, but you
So
can't
these
do
are
it
all,
for
yeah,
free.
we're not here to make a movie that makes you feel good and you go home.
Slow
We're here to
clap
try
at
to
the
raise
end of it,
money
right.
so they
That's
so
right.
that we can make a movie.
That's right. That's right.
So that they can continue to tell the stories here. So
And
that
you're a
requires
part of
money.
it. You're a part of it. You want that story to end well, then you got to be a part of it. We can be a part of it. The Salvation Army can be a part of it. But it's the people out there listening right now that can be a part of it. You don't have to leave your living room. You have to leave where the radio is to be a part of it. You can be a part of it by giving that dollar up. And we ain't tell you to give all your paycheck, but give it. The amounts are small, but they go a long way.
And everybody's paying more at the grocery store. We know that. Imagine feeding 3,500 people a day.
There you go.
833-SAL-HOPE, 833-SAL, S-A-L, HOPE, or text the word bread to 24365. Back with more right after this.
Mike Dwyer started driving one of the Salvation Army bed and bread trucks during the COVID-19 pandemic. He says it was this very radiothon that drew his attention to the fact that this is something he could actually do.
I knew about the Radiothon, but I didn't connect it to something that I could do. And then I heard they were looking for drivers, and I had a meeting with a couple folks, and I actually rode with a driver. And I remember meeting this tall, thin woman on a Saturday afternoon about 4:00, and she was just at the window, and she says, I don't want any hot dogs, but I just have some juice and some crackers. And it just hit my heart. So I decided to do it.
Mike says you must have the heart to carry out the Salvation Army's mission through the Bed and Bread program, which is evident through the relationships he's built with people on the routes.
You develop kind of a love for the folks on the route. How are you? You want to be there, and then when they aren't, you start to worry what happened. It's where are they? This guy's counting on me, and I guess this population is transient, but you really do connect to them.
To help, text bread to 24365 or by calling 833-SAL-HOPE.
You ever get the feeling that the world is being held together with duct tape? Every day we're thrown some new meaningless drama in the fake news to distract us from the reality we're all about to face. Between the government trying to print their way out of debt, military conflicts, the disintegration of our most trusted institutions, and a looming food shortage, preparedness is no longer a choice. It's a necessity. You can trust My Patriot Supply. Our emergency food kits come packed with tasty meals, averaging over 2,000 calories per day. Get at least one kit for each person in your family. Self-reliance is the only alternative to government food lines. Time is running out. Become ungovernable. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com and save on dozens of different emergency food kits while you can. These kits are in stock, ship fast, and arrive in unmarked boxes for your privacy. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com before the next crisis strikes. mypatriotsupply.com.
Hunger and homelessness don't take a day off. The Salvation Army's Bed and Bread program provides food and shelter every single day of the year. More than 72,000 nights of shelter and more than 1.3 million meals to our community's most vulnerable. Your donation to the Bed and Bread Club Radiothon makes it all possible. Donate today by texting BREAD to 24365 and tune in to this year's Radiothon on 760 WJR beginning at 4 p.m. February 23rd. Then live beginning at 6 a.m. February 24th.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code VEST for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or any gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code VEST for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code VEST for 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up.
Please consider this your personal invitation to join me, Steve Courtney, along with WDIV's Jamie Edmonds for the WJR Sportsbook, Monday nights from 7 to 8, proudly presented by our friends at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
WJR Traffic First is sponsored by the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA. Call on NECA signatory contractors for electric vehicle charging solutions for commercial, public, industrial, or residential EV projects. Contractors, including Bayview Electric Company, provide EV-ITP trained and certified electricians that get your job done right the first time. Learn more at smcneca.org. An accident is causing delays on I-94 eastbound before Ann Arbor-Saline Road. That's causing stop and go from Jackson Avenue. Watch out for a wreck on I-94 westbound at Belleville Road. And we still have that accident slowing you down on I-96 eastbound after Novi Road. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Mix of sun and clouds with a high of 31 this afternoon. Getting some snow showers later tonight, right around midnight, a low of 23 for the evening. Sunny with a high of 42 Saturday. Right now, partly sunny and 30 degrees. I'm Rich Fluzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
You've got the 2023 Salvation Army Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on WJR. It's the charity drive that shelters more than 72,000 Metro Detroiters every year. Call and donate right now. 833-SAL-HOPE or text BREAD to 24365. Now back to more with Mitch Albom.
And we welcome you back here, our last 10 minutes or so of trying to do our best to raise funds for the neediest here in Detroit through the Salvation Army and the Bed and Bread Club. Dick Purton and friends coming up on the other side of this. Of course, Dick started this thing.
Yeah, he did.
782 years ago. When he and Kevin were first breaking into radio.
That's right. When the kettle was square.
Yes. On their crystal sets.
Back then, they broadcast from cave to cave.
Yeah, we did. We did. Yep. You still got the bearskin.
Sending this one out to Cave 47.
Right. This one's got your name on it.
Here's Alley-oop.
KAVE radio.
Yes, indeed.
The legend Dick Purton, by the way, Mitch, will be joining the proceedings from the great state of Florida. You're in Haiti, so you win the prize.
Yeah,
furthest south.
Furthest distance of.
That's right. Yeah.
Participate. Well, we can be anywhere in the world, but we're always in Detroit.
That's
if
it.
you're from Detroit, and we're trying to help needy Detroiters here. 833-SAL-HOPE. 833-SAL-HOPE. If you want to just do it numbers wise, 833-725-4673, or you can text the word bread to 24365 with all the same results. I'll say hi to Alba Adams Mason, who is the Group Manager, Multicultural Business Alliance and Strategy, Multicultural Dealer Relations for Toyota Motor North America. Alba, thank you for spending some time with us.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
I think I want to see the size of your business
card. Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing.
It's either really small type or a really big card.
Tiny font.
I've been able to condense it because, there's so many titles and it's so long. So I've been able to condense it, gentlemen.
I think initials would be good for that.
Yes.
Well, tell us about Toyota's particular involvement with the Salvation Army of Eastern Michigan's Bed and Bread program.
Toyota's here. We've been supporting the Salvation Army through our Walk in My Boots program by donating to Detroit's after-school program and the renovation of the Connor Creek Corpse on the east side. This is actually our 12th year providing Walk in My Boots in Detroit, and it's our first time supporting the Grandel community on the Detroit's west side. So overall, we've been able to donate over 2,200 pairs of boots and socks to families throughout Metro Detroit. And on top of all that, I hear that you all had a major ice storm this week. So the boots and socks most certainly came in handy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In fact, pretty much everybody needed new boots and socks while they were done
everybody,
here.
Right?
And lifts.
And lifts. So,
to get over the ice.
We'll have to find some great chapstick to add to those boots and socks next time.
Yeah, chapstick would help.
Due to the recent pandemic crisis and the economic downturn, it's a major reason, why Toyota want to continue to do whatever we can to ensure Detroiters are getting the help that they need. And also, as a national advisory board member for the Salvation Army, I want to urge everyone out there that's listening who can donate to support the Great Lakes Division so that they can continue doing the most good.
Well, we appreciate your encouraging people to do that. We really appreciate the practicality of the Walk in My Boots project and the thousands of pairs of winter boots and socks, all the money that you've donated to the Salvation Army Great Lakes Division, and your increased involvement as you've detailed in the last year. It really means a lot when big corporations get involved, because I think, sometimes we reach out to individuals to call in and make a $5 donation or a $10 donation. Many times they think, well, why are they always hitting up the little guy? And why do I have to, be the only ones here? What about all those corporations making all that money? And so when, an organization as large as Toyota gets involved in a large way, I think it takes that off the table, and it inspires people to do what they can in their own individual way to parallel what companies are doing in theirs.
Absolutely. Toyota is, we are really focused on helping those communities, and especially those communities in need. So it's a great pleasure to have the opportunity to do that.
Thank you for coming on with us, Alba, and send us one of your business cards just to prove that it can all fit on one.
Start now. Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
Amazing day, gentlemen. Take care.
Right. Thank you.
It may have
Alba
to be a
Adams
billboard.
Mason. I'm going to repeat this just once so that you can hear it again. Alba is the Group Manager, Multicultural Business Alliance and Strategy/Multicultural Dealer Relations for Toyota Motor North America.
That's not a business card. It's a billboard.
I remember when Monty Clark, I went over one night in my early days here in Detroit, the former coach of the Lions, invited me over to watch a Monday Night Football game with him. And, he was out of football at that point. Mm-hmm. And he handed me a business card. He said, here's my card in case you ever want to call me. And it said, Monty Clark, citizen.
I love that. I like the approach.
Okay. That was possibly the shortest card I've ever seen. This one may be the longest I've ever seen. So now I can die happy. I've seen the extremes of business card.
An acronym.
Well, folks, we are about to wrap up here. 833-SAL-HOPE is the phone number. Our work is done in terms of broadcasting, but the work is not done for trying to raise even more money. We want to certainly break the $1 million mark here and get way beyond that, as we did last year for Salvation Army. And Dick Purton and his friends will come along, and his family as well. I understand different members of his family are going to join. coming up to advance the ball down the field. But we'll give you the numbers one last time: 833-SAL-HOPE, or text the word bread to 24365. Again, 833-725-4673. Do we have a tote board that we can end with here?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. As a matter
You're
of
getting good
fact,
at
thank
this.
you for noticing, Mitchell. Thank you. The new total, oh boy, 1,008,747.
That's what I'm
There we go.
Like
Now that's a
they really want me to
performance.
shut up, don't
Yeah,
they?
they do.
And you're going to accommodate them in 3,
on the
2,
road.
1, aren't you? Yes. Thank
The
you for
people have
that,
spoken.
folks. Thank you for your generosity. Please keep it up as
God
we
bless.
continue here. Help the neediest. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday between 5 and 7.
Greg Kelser began his